It's Moo-Man.
Moo-Man?
This is not a dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Moo-Man. It is Moo-Man on the mic.
Yo, what is going on? This is your man Moo-Man on the mic, back with another episode of the Initiative Podcast, where we get into everything: celebrity news, world news, sociology, psychology, and WTF. Let's get it. Okay, man, yesterday was a night. We're going to get into it, but shout out today goes to a guy on social media. I don't know the guy's name, but he's been making his rounds when he decided to define what LNs, YNs, BBs, unks, OGs, and elders age range is. So, boom, here it is. LNs, young niggas from 8 to 14, or those are little niggas. Young niggas from 15 to 25, big bros from 26 to 35, unk from 36 to 44, OGs from 45 to 55, and elders 60 to 70 plus. What do y'all think about that? I had to shout the man out because I've heard so many different definitions of LNs, YNs, BBs, unks, OGs, and elders. They're the different age ranges because there's multitudes of generations that are all living all at once. You know, even my generation has survived a millennium, a century, I believe, a multitude of special decades, all of this in a very short period of time in relation to our calendar, despite that it used to be 13 months, right? So shout out to my mans right there, and let's get into the headline hero. As we know, the headline hero is Mental Health Awareness Month, okay? Let me give y'all a little bit of background into Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental Health Awareness Month started in 1949 in America by the Mental Health America, known as the National Association for Mental Health. All right, and each year has a theme, okay? In 2022, it was back to basics. In 2023, it was look around, look within. 2024 was where to start, and this year's theme is turn awareness into action, and this is my action that I'm taking as I am bringing awareness to mental health awareness itself and the mental health disorders that surround us on a daily basis. Silently, of course, because I know not so many people talk about it, not so many people want to talk about it, not so many people can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I say, if you are suffering from mental health, and the main mental health disease and disorder that is permeating the world is racism and prejudice. It is a mental health disorder. It is a mental health disease, all right? The history is out. As we know, we are the original people on the planet, all melanated beings. We all know that the eugenics, practice of sifting one's blood to disrupt genetic purity. You see what I'm saying? And to create genetic modifications. We all know that that's eugenics created by Hitler, a science much older than that. But we know the truth, all right? So that is our headline hero, Mental Health Awareness Month. And let's get into some headline hunting. All right, we going 50 Cent. Makes it clear that he has no gang ties by distancing himself from embattled G-Unit MC Bangum Smurf. An article by Gabriel Broad Narvaez. Bangum Smurf seeking asylum in the United Kingdom due to alleged gang threats in Trinidad and Thailand. Okay, for the new generation, these two New York MCs used to be on G-Unit together, but fell off over label issues and some nasty altercations. Bangum Smurf had other issues, though, and all of this while serving prison time for his role in a shootout that he's been trying to clear his image for. Smurf has recently appeared alongside UK aristocrats at the House of Parliament and hopped on a few English podcasts. Okay, and I mean, y'all can go check that podcast out. It's pretty interesting. And right now he wants to hide out in the UK. The government is currently viewing the asylum request. Listen, Benzino, BMF with Meech, and Bangum Smurf. 50 Cent. The B's in your alphabet all have beef. I'm just saying. Headline hunting. DJ Academics lays out a harsh reality for DDG as Blame the Chat suffers dismal sales. Article by Zachary Horvath. The Michigan native allowed his followers to join in on the creative process for his latest record. All right, he allowed them to have a lot of control over the final track list, beats, and more. However, even though this is a creative way to bring hip hop and streaming together, it wasn't it. All right, he only sold 502 albums out the gate. And as of this recording, 1,230 units have been sold. Okay, but he remains optimistic. He does. And I shout out to his optimism. You see what I'm saying? He definitely has a positive outlook, and I agree with it. I have the same kind of optimism for my podcast and my spoken word. I am the greatest spoken word artist on the planet. I truly believe that, and I'm pretty sure he's not too far from that mentality. But Wiz Khalifa, Bia, Ty Dolla $ign, Rich the Kid, Offset, Queen Naija, and NLE Chopper, who just went gold with Kai Cenat, could not save the project. DDG, come on, let's go. Headline hunting. Nicki Minaj reportedly unfollows Natalie Nunn after casting her younger sister on Baddies Gone Wild. This is an article also by Zachary Horvath. MiNG LI, only 19 years old for the new spin-off series, all right, takes place in Brazil and will premiere, or rather already premiered yesterday. Alright, so I don't know how Nicki Minaj feel about it. Clearly, she does not feel a way about it. She doesn't like it. Alright, I don't like the Baddies ideology. I don't like the Baddies image at all. Anyway, I don't see many people actually liking that image. But, you know, that's just me. What do I know? Nicki Minaj has already had her beef with Natalie Nunn throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? You can't chin check Nicki Minaj. That's for sure. You see what I'm saying? So the thing about it is she's 19, MiNG LI, right? And here's another thing. Very early in the industry, Nicki Minaj know how the industry gets down. We're just going to have to see how this thing turns out. I personally don't like this idea at all, especially with everything that surrounds the Zeus Network and the franchise that is the Baddies franchise. That's been making a lot of people money. It's been making a lot of people who necessarily didn't have money. It's been making names for producers behind the scenes, screenwriters behind the scenes, script writers behind the scenes. I get the idea of the Zeus Network putting on people. I get the idea of Zeus Network's target audience, which is people who are doing down and out, doing down and bad, looking for a glow up, just got out of jail or prison, and this, that, and the third. That kind of population being put into the field of opportunity by the glitz, glam, and cameras of reality TV. You know, I understand the idea behind it, but it's all for the wrong reasons. And that's why there's so much drama that surrounds the Zeus Network and Baddies. You see what I'm saying? It surrounds both of them. You know what I mean? And that's just crazy to me. But to go back to DDG and his struggles with his music, you know what I mean, and his streaming, you have to understand that the man makes probably $500,000 on his streaming content alone. Let's be clear about that. You see what I'm saying? $500,000 on his streaming content alone. You know, his streaming and his ability to try to blend music. This was his first battle. He lost. But at the same time, his optimism shouldn't be attacked online. I see people online saying just wild stuff. Like, why y'all attacking this man, and all he wants to do is create a dream, chasing a dream, create a goal, building a goal. How y'all attacking positivity? How do you attack optimism? How do you attack a man who is making efforts to do what he can do with his artistry and his craft and monetize off it? Because that's the name of the game, right? Monetizing your craft, monetizing your life is what reality TV is. Monetizing any kind of skill set that you have is the name of the game. And then you give back when you hit certain levels. You see what I'm saying? Or not. Kind of really depends on your position with God. I mean, but all I'm saying is, and that's not a reflection on DDG in any kind of way. That's just my opinion. What I'm saying is we shouldn't be attacking DDG. We shouldn't be attacking new artists. We shouldn't be attacking, you know what I'm saying, anybody who really feels that they got it. Give them some time. The court of public opinion will let you know if you got it. You see what I'm saying? Let's get into these back of the house headlines. All right, so check it out. The back of the house headline is a combination of headlines that I have got to address because we all fly in one way or one aspect or another. Okay, Newark Airport suffers third system outage in less than 2 weeks. Crisis takes terrifying turn Just one controller oversees 100 takeoffs, 180 takeoffs, and 180 landings. Okay, this comes after the New Jersey airport was initially facing a zero ATC event. And that's a term used by industry workers to describe the doomsday scenario of no one showing up on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or the beginning or the end of the week. All right, here's another one. Summer bummer flights could be disrupted across U.S. And see, this is what I'm saying right here. This is obviously a controlled event. You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on. All around the nation, there's a shortage of flight controllers and signalers and this, that, and the third. But we know where we can hire these people, don't we? We know where we can train these people, don't we? Okay, because you know what I'm going to say for those who may not have been following my episodes and may not have been following the artistry that is Moo Man on the mic. I've been saying this and I made it very blatantly. The prison population is where we need to focus on training, developing skills, mindsets, so that we have an abundance of employees. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people be like, oh, we need immigrants to do certain jobs. No, the idea of sanctioning specific people to do specific society jobs is not something that sits well with me, because I'm all about meritocracy when it comes to portraying and practicing skill set. You see, the better you are at it is because the more you practice at it. And the more you practice at it is because the more you had a passion for it. And if you had a passion for it, you love to do it, so you don't have a problem learning it. You see what I'm saying? See, that's what meritocracy is. Okay, this race-based idea of, oh well, we should just hire South Americans to do this particular job or whites to do this particular job. No, that's trash. You know what I'm saying? And for the narrative of, oh well, they got rid of DEI, so that's the reason why everything is going to hell with the skies. No, that's terrible too. How about we are looking and we are treating the job industries and the corporation industries with particular skill sets that need to be learned, particular specialized knowledge that need to be utilized in all the wrong way. That's what we've been doing. You see what I'm saying? And mind you, most people are getting all these backgrounds because everyone keeps getting locked up because of the corruption in the police system. You see what I'm saying? Not to mention the requirements to gang and to get certain licenses and degrees are so very strict that it's almost impossible to get it. And mind you, you have to have a positive background to get it. And mind you, you have to have good credit sometimes to get certain jobs. And that's a fact. You see what I'm saying? They may not put that into the public arena, but it is a fact. Why is my credit report printed out every time I'm trying to get a particular job? Doesn't make sense to me. You see what I'm saying? But I digress. The point is, we need to start training populations who are thirsty to work, who are thirsty to put their minds to the test, who are thirsty to put their faith and their abilities to get the job done, new skill sets, okay, to the test. And that comes from the prison system, seeing as how it's not about rehabilitation anyway, it's about punishment. This could be one way that we could revitalize people's tax-paying dollars into systems that are useful coming out of prison, like giving them specialized knowledge over certain industries and creating a level up system in order to make sure that happens beautifully, successfully, and cohesively. That is my point. That's always been my point. You see what I'm saying? I feel like we can do that. I feel like that is a very doable thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just going to get worse. You're going to allow the globalists to take over the skies. They already took over the land and air, or the land and water. How long does it take for law to come into our favor? That's something I'm curious about. And who's the our that I'm referring to? I'm referring to the faithful, the God-fearing, the submitters of the planet. All right, the ones who have common sense, who obviously see that this is obviously wrong, so I'm gonna obviously fix it, not for greed or not for money, but for the obvious reasons, my children's future. Okay, I know you people don't seem to like kids out there, and I'm not talking about the people who are listening to the podcast. No, y'all my fans, I love y'all. We on the way up, we're glowing. I'm talking to the people who don't like kids. All right, get it together, people. We're all big kids and little kids at heart at the end of the day, and we all need to learn the fact that, you know what I'm saying, if they're going to keep doing this to our land, air, and water, we need to fight back with specialized skills and we need to fight back now. But as y'all know, it is your man's Moo Man on the mic. I want to thank everybody to the bottom of my heart for listening to this podcast, for following me. Keep going. The glow up is real. I will see y'all on the next episode.